All right, well, potentially you can hear me here. There's potential. I'm sorry for anyone that I dropped. Still running off of Wi-Fi, so the connection isn't near as good. No data. Well, as usual, I'm running this off of Wi-Fi, waiting on the Ethernet connection to be repaired tomorrow morning. So, here we go. So, July 11th, part 2. Hang tight. Hey, Micah. You guys are a patient bunch, man. Let's see what we get here. If I drop again, that'll be it for the day regarding the stream. Well, a whole bunch of nothing so far. Not much to do right here at this level. Well, I don't have any big conviction one way or the other right here, guys. Nothing that gets me too excited just yet. I hear you, Greg. All right, let's watch this 59 level. No, I do agree about what Kumar said regarding the. I called it like 58 half. He was saying about 59 half. But if we get below that, it feels like, well, maybe we hang out in here and then potentially push lower. So that attempt that the Bulls had let's look at our 5 minute here. And again, if I drop you guys, I do apologize. That'll be it for me for the day regarding streaming. I'll be wrapping up here at about 10:30, 10:45. But yeah, so come down. Couldn't push it up higher. Now we're back down, getting close to just being in this range that we were at the last hour before we pushed up higher. So I'm curious to see if we probe lower. You know, if wondering if the Bears want to push it lower and if the Bulls aren't going to buy until we push it lower. So what do we got here? Another 3 minutes still to go on the 5 minute. We'll watch this 5 minute bar for sure. For sure. That's what a lot of the younger kids say. Oh, for sure. They say for sure a lot and 100%. 100%. Oh, 100%. For sure. So you can tell I'm a little bit bored. But we'll watch this bar, see what we get here. And I'm going to take a little bathroom break. I'll be right at the back. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit bearish here too, Greg. It would seem like the Bears want to take it lower and like the Bulls aren't ready to step in just yet. Slow movement, slow moving day, slow tempo. Another 20 seconds to go on this 5 minute bar. Taking it quite a bit lower here. Definitely some good action on that bar. Micah, what are you trying again? Or I don't know if you're referencing me trying the stream again, or if you're trying to get involved again at some level. I think that was a while ago you wrote that or typed it out. Well, I'm still at a point of yeah, yeah, I agree with you guys regarding comments that we've had. Yeah, it's. I mean, if someone, Kumar, if you're there, if you're listening, if you want to share, that's great. I would ask that you just type stuff in once, and it's helpful too to know like what your target is. Which I think on the last post you did mention targets. You said if we get below like 38.59 half, sell it, sell it, sell it. If we're above 59 half, buy it, buy it, buy it. Targets to the upside were like 38.95, to the downside 38.17. Um, so you, yeah, trying it again. One last go. One last effort here. Minute and a half to go on the 5 minute bar. Looking weak to me. Looking for an area to short, but I'm also concerned about just a little bit of a stop run and then a push lower. So Mike, I'd say you're good at continuation trades. Again, I tend to be more of an outside in trader. I'm looking for extremes. I find it a little bit more difficult to simply go with the trend, as crazy as that sounds. But I'm tempted here to try to short. Feels weak. I just don't want to be the guy who shorts on or near the lows of the day. So, for myself, if I'm not sure, if I don't have strong conviction, I've just got to be patient, stay disciplined, sit back, hang tight, and wait. Greg, I hope you're doing well, man. Greg, are you more of a swing trader with SPY? It seemed like maybe you were, but I couldn't totally remember. Well, we've got C period so far. Or no, D period, I'm sorry, D period. Come down to about here. Let's look at the daily again. Got to grab a little bit of context from the daily. So again, here's our daily chart. Pretty equidistant currently, right? Like our body, we've got a wick here, wick here. Is this value area here? Does value get accepted in this area, or do we take it lower? Or do we push up higher, or do we just, remain and that's value for the day? These are good questions to ask ourselves. Yeah, I would think, Greg, if you really get one by the tail, you got a great positioning on it, it just goes in your favor a lot, then, you hold it overnight, or you at least scale out of some and then hold it. That makes sense to me. D period broke C by 3 TPOs, thinking short 60-ish. think I like that one. Emphasis on think. I think I maybe like that one. Let's see what we do here. I feel like if we push up, I'd want to, and if I get short, I'd want to see it stay below the 66 half level, certainly below this. But so back to the analogy of the sketch artist, right? The market is painting a picture, and we're trying to just decipher what kind of picture it's painting. What is it trying to do? This could be an interesting little node here. We'll see. What kind of a picture is it trying to paint? Back to our 62 half level. Look like a Hare Krishna in my shirt. I've got the hair pulled back, got the this going on. I would agree, Micah. Well, I would think that value is being accepted somewhere between 55 and 64 so far. The market is dynamic. Here's our 15-minute. Again, we've pushed down and we're just hanging out. We can't, there's could be some potential resistance up above here. We obviously saw that at 70 there was. So what's it trying to do? What's the picture it's trying to paint? And do I want to put a wager on what it's trying to do? Or am I just going to let it be? I get a little trigger happy every now and then. Hand is off the mouse. Hand is off the mouse. I repeat. What's our level here? 66. We'll watch to see if it gets to 66. See what it does here if it gets up there. All right, still got another little ways. So we're gonna do 5-minute bar. I'd like to be involved and do something, but Market's not showing me a whole bunch right now. Maybe you're someone who's been in and out 5 times, 10 times, 20 times already. That's great. I'm hoping you're making a lot of money. It's a good feeling when you can just read it and you've got a good idea of what's going on and what's happening. Watching the 66 to see how they treat it up here. And it could be nothing, but I'm going to watch between 62 and 66. I might try a short here in a little bit. Watching how it reacts at 66. I'm going to short some right here. And I'm looking for it to push below 62, get back into this range here. So initially, like I said, I was wanting to see what it did at 66. We've come up here, at least on the 1 minute, trying to retrace a little bit. So let's see if we can't continue and then get back into this range. Tricky market for sure. Bunch of chop, bunch of back and forth. What's PB, Micah? PB to the tick? Tricky market for me. All right, we got another 10 seconds till we get a new 5-minute bar. See if we get back into that accepted area down there. Okay, I was hoping this 1 minute would be a little bit more telling here, how we came up to that level and then pushed lower. Seems like bulls are holding that 62 half level. Oh, pullback. God. That makes sense. Thanks, Micah. So here is our potential battle area, and it's as fate would have it, it's looking a little bit strong now. Same thing, I'm going to just lighten up a little bit right here. looking strong to me. I'd like to see some continuation in order to get more involved. So I'm out at just a fraction of a loss on that one, but I was watching this 1 minute bar and I think that kind of was a little head fake for me. So let's see if we can't do it here or if we hold and just push higher. So I'm currently in only 30% of what I allow myself to trade. Got a real tight stop on this thing. Watching here, we got another minute and 40 till we put in a new 5-minute bar. I've got a tight leash on this guy. I'm going to sell a little bit more right here. So I'm in 40% of what I allow myself to trade. Nothing too exciting. Looking for a pullback to break 62, come lower. I was in 60% of what I allowed myself to trade. I lightened it up here just as we were coming up higher, and for me, this has got to be the move that I want to see here pretty soon. Another minute to go on the 5-minute bar. Here's our 5-minute. Coming down to 62 again. Let's see what we do here, how they treat it. Love to see it come back into here, and then I'll be looking for like 58 on this one for a scale out of some of it. There we go. I don't have a working order at 58. I might let it develop and see if we can push lower. I've got my stop now just at this high up here. I want to see it come in and try to take some profit down here. Got to give some patience, not giving it a whole bunch of a leash, right? Just adjusting. Well, I'm pleased with my entry on this one. It's tight enough and close enough. Again, my stop is just right above here. Hadn't scaled out of any yet as we push lower there. Holding that 60 level. Looking strong on the 1 minute now. Now if this trade doesn't work out, this might be it for me for the day. So relative to what we have been doing, we're getting a little bit more movement here. My average price is this 64.5. Got my stop above this level here. I'm in 40%. It's not too big. So if it takes me out, it takes me out. It's been a tricky market to call. And I'll hold it and let it be. If we hang out here and can't push much lower, I'll just exit out of it and be done. But that's where I'm at for the day. Five-minute right here. Maybe you're reading this market well, but for me it's definitely been a bit more difficult to read. Been quite choppy, back and forth. Bulls are keeping it above that 62.5 level, at least for the time being. That obviously can change. We'll watch our 5-minute bar here and kind of want to see where this one ends up. If it closes below 62.5, I'd feel like there could be a good argument for a push lower to the downside. It looks like it's trying here. I think definitely around 58. I'm going to have my first little scale out of a quarter of the position. So I've got my stop now to this level. Looking for 58 for the first scale out of a quarter of the position. Actually, I'm going to get out of half of it at 58. See how this 5-minute bar closes. Well, maybe I'm not going to get out of half at 58. Maybe I'm not. Trying to give it some room here, trying to give it some little bit of room to breathe. My stop now is at 66. Average price is 64.5. Looking for 58, first target. There's a time to exit early and a time to enter early and a time to hold it, isn't it? Time for everything. Looking at 15-minute here, really not doing much. Again, we've got our insurance policy in place. Trading is inherently risky, and you want to do it with insurance. Here we are coming back up to 63. Not lot to write home about. I'm going to tighten this up even just a little bit more. So we get above, well, 66, and I don't want it. Seems like we're going to do that. And that'll be it for me for the day. Be a small loss in the day, but nothing too major. I'm going to exit out of a quarter right here. Well, I've pulled my stop now to 65. I'll get out of a quarter of it right there, and then I'll still remain just in case that is kind of a fluke, head fake up there, and then we come back in. Then the other stops are right at 66. I might even move those guys in a little bit. Bull's trying to do it here, trying to move it. Who would ensure trading you would go broke? I don't know. I'm just saying, for me, having a stop loss in place is my insurance. So right here, I've got about to take my stop out. My average price was 64.5. I thought if it gets above the 66, I just don't want it. And looks like it'll get taken out. That'll be it for me for the day. Not yet, though. We're still hanging tight. Still hanging in there, but looks like it's inevitable at this point, looking at the action of the 5-minute chart. All right, I'm still in 3/4, but got one taken out right here. One didn't. It's dangerously close. And there we go. Okay, so that's it for me for the day. Pretty much just a scratch day, really. Yep. Scratch. Alrighty, well, not a whole lot of clear direction for today. Been a tricky one to read. We'll see if we come up here and then just about face it and maybe push it down to 58 this time. So initially, the thought on that trade, as I was talking about when I was in it, was we pushed down here, held this 55, came back up. I saw this bar lower on the 1 minute and thought, you know what, that might be enough to want to get me involved right here. And so took a stab at it. Actually got out of a little bit as it pushed up more, and then got involved a little bit more. Had an average price of 64.5. As it came down under the 62.5, which was the overnight low, I thought, okay, like this could show some weakness. First target was 38.58. We never got there. We were 2 points away. Was going to take off either a quarter or half of it, and then would have pulled stop to break even. That didn't happen, and so risk to reward on that one was great. I'm very pleased with it. On that, I talk a lot about following the process well. I'm even watching this level, wondering if I shouldn't try to get involved again here. I may. I'm going to try to get involved again against 68. Looks like I'm on a fool's errand there. But anyways, I was pleased with the risk to reward on that one, what I was risking versus what I was looking to make. Entry was good enough to where it was very close to where my stop was. So that was it. And this market, just a lot of chop, a lot of back and forth. Pretty difficult to read, definitely want to have your stops in place. I bought just a little bit there at 64, just lightening up on it at break even. I'm in 40% of what I'll allow myself to trade. If we can get down and below here, then my stop will be this 67. So I am involved in this one, 40%. Looking to see if we can't get 58 this time. I like this 67 level as a stop for sure. Looking for 58. Well, look, got to get hit 60 first, right? Like we got to crawl before we can walk. So, but 58 is my target on this guy. Looking like the 5 minute could break the 5 minute here, which would be ideal. This 5 minutes kind of held right at that 60 level. $10.35. Gonna be heading out here pretty soon. Almost got a new 5 minute bar. And I'm going to sell just a little bit more there at 62 half. I want to see stay below 67. I'm in 50% of what I'll allow myself to trade. Looking for the first target of 58, maybe 58 half even. I'll get out of 40% of this thing if we do get down to 58 half. Feels like this could be the move. Again, here's our 5 minute. Lots of chop. So, Bears tried to push it lower. I was thinking we'd get down to 60 at least. We couldn't get there. Look at the 5 minutes, see if anything can be gleaned from this action right here. Flip a coin, really. I mean, do we push up higher? Do we go lower? Still looking for my 58 level. Here, I think we should get it here, or close to it at least. I'm close to scaling out now. And I'm going to be out of 40% almost. Okay, right here I'm out at 40%. And stop's going to be above this 65 low. Boy, I'm going to buy a little bit back right here and here. I'm only in 20% of what I'll allow myself to trade. We got down there. I got out at like 58.5 and had a quick bounce up. I think that was on a lot of guys' minds. Buy a little bit right here. And I'm just in 10% of what I'll allow myself to trade. Just not trusting the wonkiness of this market. So 58 was the level there, came down to it. And who knows, maybe it continues to push lower. But so got out of 40% there, got out of a little bit more. And I'm going to flatten right here. That's going to be it for me for the day. Scratch of a day. Whole lot of nothing right there. All right. Hope you guys trade well. Hope you keep your stops in place. Hope you do all the right things. Hope you follow the process well, right? Like we talk a lot about following the process well. Was I following it well? So even on a stop earlier today, let's just recap. I had a trade where I got long and then just market wasn't shaping up. So I got out of it. Just didn't feel good for a scratch. Nothing gained, nothing lost. And then on this more recent one here, it was in smaller. Scratch on that one as well. And then actually lost a little bit on that second trade. And then on this last trade, came up to here, saw it fail, came down, scaled out 40% here at 58, and then got out as the market just didn't about face and pushed back up higher. So on that one, the amount that I made equaled the amount that I lost on the trade earlier. So that was it for me. And it's just been a back and forth choppy market so far. 168, that's kind of interesting here, but I've got to go. I've got to wrap it up. Trade well, and I'll be back tomorrow. Internet's going to be getting worked on between 8 and 8:30 tomorrow, so it might be that I start the stream a little bit later than usual, get involved then, and then we do our thing. Trade carefully today. It's a back and forth market. Wait for the market to show you something before you jump in. Know where you're right, know where you're wrong. If you don't see anything today, there's always tomorrow. When you get a setup that you're just excited about, save your financial capital, save your emotional capital, and execute accordingly. All right, have a great day. Talk to you.